for a routine medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had electric service department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're High Electric can handle all types of residential or electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 404-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Ahman Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pierce will be in Wednesday and Thursday by Ben Blaker of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Questions.
Bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach.
Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown. 98 yards and a Lambeau leap.
Here is your host, Ahman Green.
Hello. Welcome to the Ahman Green Show. I'm your host, Ahman Green, along with my good friend, teammate, Austin. How you doing, Austin?
Hey, G, I am good. How are you doing? How's the ankle coming along?
Ankle is 100%. Stitches are out.
Nice.
So I'm back to moving and grooving again up and down stairs and doing a little extra because we're almost at the bitter end of this packing that's been going on for literally a month now. a whole month. As of July 17th is when I got here, June 16th. So we're over a month now. So
that's like training camp, but like worse.
Yeah, timing wise, yeah. It just is not worse only because I'm not wearing 20 pounds of gear. And it's not over 100 degrees every day. and we're
you're
outside
for some of it, right? You got some AC going.
Exactly. I'm definitely inside at night because last couple days I've done a lot of packing small stuff. So I've just been inside, sitting on a chair, throwing stuff in a box, taping it up. I say my box packing skills is on point right now. If we had to have a competition, I'm bringing it home. I'm doing it. So me and my wife have been doing that. That's going good.
Easier to tape a box or an ankle?
Good question. I would say a box. Easy.
Okay.
Ankle, you got to know. You got because I remember when I first had the cut and I went in the doctor's office, they wrapped it up, threw the stitches on there, and they put the ace bandage on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took me back to, I was looking at the lady wrap my ankle, and I was like, takes me back to my football days, right before practice, right before a game, getting my ankles taped. And I always knew a good ankle taper by the way they taped the ankle, how firm the tape job was. If it was too loose, it's like a good, perfect line of being just firm enough, but not too tight and not too loose. And so we had some good trainers there in Lincoln. And then when I got to Green Bay here, actually in Seattle, I had a guy. He was in Green Bay. His name was Sam Raston. Shout out to Sam. But then when I got here to Green Bay, one of the and we called him Flea because he had the same blonde hair as a Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
so kind of blondish red or whatever. He was from Illinois, and we both were Walter Payton fans. So we were like, oh my God, did we just become best friends? Yes, we did. We had that moment, And so he taped my ankles here for all the games I had as a Packer. So good friends. I watched his kids grows up. He has 3 boys. One of them, I think, is probably 23 now. I think he was born in 2000, born in 99, 23 or 24. And the other 2 are 18 and 17, somewhere around there. So, But yeah, I'll say taping a box. You could come off the top. You could come off hot with the box. My wife has been frustrated because we have these, the rollers that you put the tape in, like the professional thing. We got 2 of those, and it doesn't. For one of them doesn't work well with her. It's a red. We have a red one and a green one, and it's the red one that it doesn't cut the tape like it should, and so she's end up pulling it down, and then all this slack of tape shows up, and then she's not happy.
Oh no!
she's like, God dang it! I'll say, babe, you got to slow down, and you got to have patience, which she doesn't have. And doing this, she has 0 patience. So,
has the patience gone down after a month? Was it better when things were just getting started?
Oh yeah, no, she has 0 patience. It's gone. It's gone. She unfortunately, she's been here since I left, so January, packing up stuff. So for her, patience is just a word to her.
Not a concept, not a thing, just a word.
Not a thing, not a value, not something you try to look for to get through the situation. Nah, she's like, nah, I'm done with this. That's where she's at on this. Oh man, I know we were talking earlier. So what's the updates on Nebraska sports and everything? We'll
start in your realm with football. The latest Hall of Fame class was announced earlier this week.
Nice.
So what they did was they took one person from the 1980s, one from the 90s, a couple from 2000 to 2006, and then a couple from 2007 to 2013.
Correct.
The 1980s one was defensive tackle David Clark. David Clark, his stats are somewhere 3-time letter winner, 40 tackles, 9 for a loss as a senior, first team All Big 8. So there's that. Guy you probably know more. We actually had on Old School yesterday. Troy Dumas made it into the Hall of Fame.
Awesome. Great dude.
Definitely. Yeah. What do you know about Troy? What do you remember about him?
That he was the biggest linebacker I ever saw when I was in high school. I was like, he's a linebacker? Oh my goodness. They make him special at this level. I was amazed by his size and his ability. And then once I got a chance to meet him, fantastic dude, fantastic guy, family man, and just real down to earth. And he had this quiet, it was more of a quiet voice, a quiet demeanor about him. But on that football field, yeah, he turned it up a notch. I remember, I love seeing the pit. I'm glad that the Wyoming quarterback is okay, but it was when they hit him and somebody else hit the Wyoming quarterback, and that helmet, the face mask was broken because of the way Troy jumped on his head. I think it might have been Toby Wright that took his legs, and then here comes T Doom over top taking the roof off. I'm like, ooh, that quarterback hope he's alive after that. I was like, oh my goodness. So I love seeing that replay, watching local news at night, going into the sports information on like KETV or something like that, WOW, stuff like that. It was fun to see that. So meeting them, we did a football camp together last year in Colorado,
nice.
in Fort Collins. Josh Davis had put on, and got time to hang out with them. And it's good to see those guys, now you see how they're doing. I see their kids all growing up. He was able to bring his kids along. So very excited for Troy to go into the Hall of Fame, and Dave.
That's awesome. A couple other guys that would have played in the NFL the same time you did. Sam Cook from Seward, Nebraska, punter in the
punter.
2000s. Yep, for the Ravens a long time before he retired. Yep. And then a guy I'm sure you had your fair share of run-ins with, Kyle Vanden Bosch, now a member of the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame.
He came in as a Cardinal first. Then he went to Tennessee Titans. I think we played more when he was in a Cardinal uniform. We played once, I think. I think we played twice or three times as a Cardinal, and then once as a Titan or more. But no, great guy there.
Did he have the red contacts when you played against him?
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you the story. Hold up. So it's Tennessee week. And, I'm, in my routine, Wednesday practice, Thursday practice, Friday practice, getting ready for these Titans. And I can't remember which day. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. And a couple of my old linemen come up to me during practice. They've been watching film and then obviously talking. Because linemen are the quiet as it's kept. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen are probably the smartest people on the field. I don't care what ESPN, NFL Network says about the quarterback position. The linemen, what they do, they have a nice little system of stuff, a communication. Obviously, they got to do things that are very hard every play. You got to block a 300-pound plus guy who's pissed off and trying to sack your quarterback or take your running back down for a tackle for loss. So they talk. And so they do things like they do research on the players they got to play against to get under their skin because they do the trash talking in their ears. And so through the grapevine, my linemen found out. So Marco, Mike Wall, Mike Flanagan, Mark Tauscher, Kelvin Berry, Chad Clifton, they found out that Cal was rolling with the contacts, the red contacts, to like intimidate people. And if you knew my offensive line back then, they weren't the ones you were trying to intimidate. They would literally they would flip it on you. They would intimidate you. So to them, they thought it was funny, which it was even during the game. They was like, man, what's this dude doing? Like, really? Is this real? Is this a fictional thing? Is he really thinking this is gonna scare us? And so that was their take on his contacts. I was just like, look, I'm a few years after him, so I wasn't there on campus. We met a few times, at events, coming down to a game or something, shook hands. So we kind of were around each other a little bit. Actually, he might have been a freshman. Maybe
you would have been right at the end of your time.
Yeah, he was a freshman. I think.
Yeah,
because I know I had Dominic. I had Dominic Raioli. He was a bat out of hell as a freshman in practice.
Did you like that as a running back?
I did, because he was an offensive lineman. He was a center, and I think Kyle was the opposite on the other side of the ball. He was a bat out of hell in that for them. But then once he got to Tennessee, like I said, with the red contacts, I thought it was hilarious. Like my linemen were laughing at him, like, "Oh, this is his thing." But no, he that was his thing around. He said he did intimidate some guys, some offensive linemen around the league with the contacts. Good job, Kyle.
I feel like you're not going to get 100% success rate, but if you can get a guy or two, it might just be, the one guy you got to beat, the edge you need.
That's all you need. It's the 1%.
Find the weak link.
Exactly. What's that? What'd you say?
Yeah, just find the weak link.
Exactly. Find the weakest link. You just need that 1 or 2% change. I remember, being on campus and first time meeting Jack Stark, and he's describing how he could help us, with sports psychology. If you got stresses, you got anxiety, nervousness you're dealing with, come to me. I'm your guy. And I remember him in his speech too. It's like his pitch was like, I'm here. Coach Osborne hired me and a few other people that are on the staff for that 1 or 2% difference. That's all it takes. Being at this level, we're all the colleges that we're going to face, that we're going to compete with, there's not much difference between us in terms of athletic ability, in terms of coaching. We got great coaches. We got great players. So we're just looking for that 1-2% difference to make the touchdown, the sack or whatever, for that player to have that mental edge. That's that 1 or 2% difference, and that's pretty much what it took. So I remember the first time hearing that from him. That's all you're looking for, like 1-2% change in gameplay. That's it. Simple.
Interesting. The last two guys for the Hall of Fame, then Taylor Martinez, quarterback, and then Spencer Long as an offensive lineman. This is something I want your take on too. Obviously, in college, the system you ran, you had mobile quarterbacks. You had to. That was your system, option based. In the NFL, Brett and Aaron, at least from TV, weren't necessarily statues, but they weren't gonna, obviously run like you guys were in college. So, what was that adjustment like for you going from mobile quarterback, get out of trouble, lower the shoulder, to guys that were maybe better in the pocket?
Yeah, I'll say when I got to Seattle, that's who I had. I had John Freeze and John Kitna. They weren't no scramblers. They were great passers. So I was ready for it because I was a fan. So I watched college football. I watched pro ball. So I knew, once I got drafted and found out that Seattle was going to be my team, I knew that I got to hold my block a little longer. This is the NFL. We pass the ball a lot more than we're going to run the ball, way more than we ran at Nebraska. So I was ready for it. And the biggest thing for me was picking up the defensive adjustments or defensive disguises, because the defenses now, defensive coordinators, the players, they knew that for a quarterback, a rookie running back, if they can make it look like one defense and it's actually a different defense, they're going to win. They're going to take advantage of it. So that was my toughest part. And that was year one for me. Just like any quarterback, being a running back, trying to understand audibles and O-line adjustments through the words that we use is code, because we're trying to not give away where we're adjusting to. All that, it was tough. But then by mid-season, I had it down. Still had a couple rough, errors here. But there were, by my second, third year, then I know what safety's coming down in the box mean. That's most likely a blitz, or he's supporting somebody that's going to blitz. So it's just something that you had to learn about it, as you went. It's part of it as being a
right.
player.
So defenses are trying to trick offenses, right, with the disguised coverages. Offenses then are trying to trick defenses back with, like you said, the code.
Yeah.
Do defenses listen to film with the volume up so they can hear what your code is and try to break it, kind of like MLB sign stealing almost?
Something like that. I'm glad you brought this up. The defenses, the teams are so diabolical in this sense. So between potential where they'll have players call their college teammate if they have them on another team that they're about to play against and say if that player is a linebacker and he's a Jet and we're about to play the Jets and one of my teammates went to college with him, that coach will ask that player, hey, can you call your former teammate that just played against this team and see what some of their line calls were? So simple as just picking up the phone and say, hey, man, y'all just played the Packers. What was some of their line adjustment words that you heard on the football field? Another thing, number two, and this is why you see the coaches for a long time do this, because they have lip readers on the sideline on the opposing
on
team.
The sideline?
Yes. So they have the backup quarterbacks are usually the ones that read the lips. If the coach that's calling the plays defensively or offensively doesn't do this, they are reading the lips. So they're going to say, oh, yeah, it's 2 jet, da-da-da-da-da. It's Fox 2 XY hook. It's green right, 98 blast. So that's why you see college coaches and pro coaches do this the whole game. For the ones that don't put up the big billboards like some of the colleges do, they put up like just pictures that don't make sense, but it makes sense to the players on the offense or the defensive side of the ball. In high school, one of the high schools I coached at Freedom, we did that. And so I was like, oh, now it makes sense on why we put these smoke signals up to people on the defensive or offensive side of the ball. So
that terminology, does that change constantly? Does it change at all? Because I'm sure for guys that are on the team for a while, like the consistency would be nice, but at the same time, if you have the people that are trying to steal it, do you ever have to switch up what the code is?
Yeah, it probably switches up week to week now. Like before, towards the end of my career, between 05, 04, and 06, and then I say 06 to 09, it was literally every week. In the first half of my career, we could probably run our audibles, our line calls the whole season. But then we noticed that D line and linebackers were picking up on it. And then we were like, okay, we got to do this. So we started doing it week by week. Every other week, we're switching stuff up. And we had hand signals. You know, you thought we were gang members. We were throwing, and pointing at our head or pulling on our ear like baseball. You know, you're like, doing all types of stuff. Because now the backup, we knew then the backup quarterback or one of the defensive players is the player that's trying to decipher this code so they can find out, they're going right with the ball, or they're going to go left, or they're throwing the ball to the slot receiver or to the wide receiver over here, So it got interesting.
Were there any defenders that you could tell picked up on it, like whether it was a team in the NFC North or AFC South, that you're like, this dude knows what we're up to, we got to do something different?
100%. It was crazy. I remember playing. It might have been, we didn't play the Ravens a whole lot because they were AFC. And I think the one time we did, and there was another linebacker too. It might have been Derrick Brooks, obviously great linebacker. And then the other one was Ray Lewis. And I swear to God, like, I don't even know. I still to this day, it's like nobody was even talking. And he said, it's a draw. It's a draw. I'm like, oh, like in my head, I'm like, what are we going to do? Like in my head, I'm sitting like, I'm throwing my hands up like, he knows the play here. What's up? I'm like, and sure enough, it was a draw. and I'm just getting in my stance, and then I check I'm checking the defensive backfield. And just as I come back to like kind of look him in the eye and see where he's lined up, it's a draw. It's a draw. I'm just like, I did a poker face. I was just like, this dude just figured it out, but okay, we still got to run this play. So yeah,
and that's even more impressive. Like you said, you're not playing him a lot.
No, we only played him like I think I played the Ravens a handful of times in my career. I could once as the Texan, and once as a Packer, so twice in 2009, and then the Texans in 2008. That's it.
Wow.
We played the AFC. That was AFC North, so that was Pittsburgh. Like I only played Pittsburgh twice in my career. And if I was on the Super Bowl team, that would have been the third time that I played him if I was on that roster. It was crazy. Interesting.
Fascinating. Yeah, Ray Lewis is a telepath. That's what we learned.
Yeah. And he was a good player. I mean, he did his homework. I remember watching some old film of him talking to Mike Singletary. They have Mike Singletary as your linebacker coach. It's like, come on, really? You cheat? That's a cheat code. Well, as we say in the video game world, that's a cheat code. I saw him, they had a little camera, they had a camera following him when he was still playing. And I remember him watching film, breaking stuff down with Mike. And he asked Mike, he said, I'm gonna steal all your tricks. I know you got tricks as a linebacker, tricks and running backs. We do too. We got little things that we do that's like frowned upon. If linebackers don't like it when we do things. So same thing, linebackers or running backs don't like things that linebackers do. And so, Mike was like, when you gotta do a man-on-man, coverage on the running back coming out the backfield, and DBs do this too. You kind of grab his jersey as he gets close to you. Just grab a little bit of jersey. Just do it enough, but do it where you don't extend. Let the running back come to you, so where you just could grab like right on you, so you could grab him. Just give you a little push as you're trying to break on the ball. So I remember seeing that part of the interview, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So that's where I learned, even if they did grab me, I would knock their hand off. Was just paying attention. And I'm like, if the best in the league is doing that, then I already know these other jokers are doing the same, trying to do the same thing. So, okay, I got you. I'll pick up on that game recognized green linebacker.
That's just the thing. It's again, that 1% to 2%, right? The little tug that can make a difference sometime. He's Ahman Green. I'm Austin Norman, back in Lincoln. We got to take our first break of the show. And then, AG, I think you got some esports news we'll get into in segment 2. Excellent. Let's do it. That's the play in segment 2 of the Ahman Green Show next.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Ahman Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen We'll be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Blaker of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select your
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticket.com.
Welcome back to the show. Austin and I have been chit-chatting about a little bit of everything, Nebraska sports, some of my pro career, and how teams and preferably, I'll say specifically linebackers, figure out how to know the plays that's coming at you. But now we're going to delve into my other passion that I love that I'm doing. I'm director of esports at Nebraska and head coach, but just more of the video game space, the esports realm. And one of the biggest things I just put on, I shared it with you, Austin, on the doc, is that the Overwatch League maybe possibly ending, which is interesting to hear. It's been about 7 years. So let's explain this, let's unpack this. So the league was established in 2017 by Activision Blizzard. That was we talked last week about them being bought by Microsoft. So Activision Blizzard, this last 4 or 5 years has been turbulent, at least needless to say, where during COVID, they had all the allegations of sexual harassment, frat boy culture, all that come out. And then the CEO, Kotek, had to pretty much step down and then get the rules reset and guidelines and protocols to now retrain and get the culture right in the building for Activision Blizzard. So you got all that going on. And then now you have this where they have two leagues. They have the Overwatch 2 league and they have the Call of Duty league. And with the Overwatch 2 league, since it started, it was a buy-in. So if you wanted to start a team from the ground up with the Overwatch league, it started with 12 teams at $20 million per team. Woo. Okay. And then a few years after that, they raised the stakes up to almost 35, 40 million per year for a franchise, along with overhead costs. So I'm just painting this picture as we lead into June of 2020 or July of 2023. So that's 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, where franchises are buying in and they're doing the whole traditional sports model of having regional teams, LA, New York, China, Paris, China, I think a team in Japan too. So international teams that have to play against our domestic teams here too. So that's a lot of travel, like I mentioned, overhead as well. So along with that, we had, like I mentioned, COVID. So then things had to be pushed to virtual online. So they did a 2020 exclusive deal with YouTube. So I don't know how that either benefited them or not, but it just helped with where teams could actually play against each other, and there was viewership, there to make sure they had still that, because the viewership had peaked at a high level of year one, you had a peak viewing of 437,000 people watching Overwatch League, and they averaged along that season 140,627 fan viewership per year. Now they're at a peak of 118,000 and some change, where it's only averaging 55,000 viewers per stream. So that's YouTube, I believe YouTube and Twitch. So big, huge drop off there, for them. And this information I'm getting over at www.com, Dextro, if I'm saying that right, .com. And so, but I know this league has been around. This is when I started, my path of where I'm at now. So this was news to me, and this is stuff I'm reading about, hearing about. I had friends that actually worked in and around the Overwatch League, the NBA 2K League. So I was getting updates word of mouth from them. So this is kind of stuff I was like learning on the go. And so previously, right now, Overwatch team has 19 teams, and those 19 teams are paying, or had paid that 20 million or that 35 million to be in this league, along with the overhead costs. And so, for them to be potentially shutting down, obviously knowing the viewership, this is where I pose the theory of this. I've said this to a lot of friends of mine, that not just Overwatch League, Call of Duty League, NBA 2K League, any league out there for esports that is supported, that is, it's a collective bargaining thing, that's where sponsors have to go. They have to go into a collective bargaining agreement to sustain, because as the esports industry, the video game industry is built, it's in some cases, and in most cases, it's built in silos. You got Microsoft doing their thing. They got Sony doing their thing. We got EA Sports doing their thing separately. And then every now and then they'll collaborate on one event or two events or something in a game or whatever. That's it. But funding wise, there's no shared funding. And so this is my theory where esports will, again, just like having traditional team set up around the countries around the world, they have to do this in the sustainability department too, is to collective bargaining together with all the teams, all the sponsors. Because if you don't do that, and then you bring in grassroots level, which is us, which is college, high school on down to elementary school, where you have programs that there's curriculum, there's activities from activations, tournaments, seasons for high school, college, or college and elementary level kids. So you have that grassroots growth of the next Valorant player, League of Legends player, Madden player. Similar, like there's Little League football, there's Little League baseball, there's AAU, there's everything supporting traditional sports, because if you don't do that, it's going to falter and fail. And so this is my theory that esports, they're going to have to sit down, all the leaders at Overwatch League, Activision, Microsoft now, EA, because they lost their contract with FIFA, so now it's just FC. So stuff like that won't happen when the advertising dollars are being shared and divvied out like the NFL, like the NBA, like Major League Baseball. So that's my theory. But to me, it's kind of no surprise, because I've been hearing a lot of, not just them, but other leagues, other companies struggling to fit the bill for being who they are, trying to entertain us as gamers out there. So
yeah, I love that. I love that theory. It makes a lot of sense to me too. And the thing I think that is most important about the collective bargaining agreement is collective, right? I mean, you have the AFL NFL merger, they come together, but in a collective bargaining agreement, not everyone gets exactly what they want, right? It's not 100% lopsided one way. And that's where I think the gaming industry for so long, like you mentioned, the silos has been segmented, but the key word is exclusivity, right? They want their games on their platform, to make the most money off of that, which works, if you have, a certain developer that you work well with, they want to release their game just on your platform, whatever, that's fine. But if you want to go with a league, something that's bigger than yourself, you're not going to be able to have enough money to keep it sustainable if you just look inside yourself. Like I was reading that article you sent too, the buy-ins that teams had, the 20 to 35 million, most of them haven't even paid it in full.
No.
So I love
it's like layaway program.
Exactly. And that's no way to grow. It's just not. So I get what they're going for by, shooting for the moon, but this is where you can't do that if you, haven't built the rocket yet, right? You got to start somewhere. And if it grows to where you can charge 20 million to enter, that's great. But this is where I think more games moving cross-platform could be big, to force these different companies to work together, because they can have a pretty big pie of their own if they continue with the exclusivity model. But you can have more than just your own pie. You can get even more, even though it's coming from the same pie, if you collectively bargain, put all that money together and split it up like that. The pie can grow bigger and you can get more of it, even though it's not 100% yours.
100%. Teamwork makes the dream work. We're seeing it with the NFL right now. We seeing quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes was the first to have a $500 million contract.
Whew.
I knew that as a player, being that I got wiser as I got older, watching contracts go up because of the collective bargaining that we had with Nike, Gatorade, Pepsi, Geico, that also were sponsored partnership with the NFL and all 32 NFL teams, all 30 or 25 some odd NBA teams, baseball teams as well. That's what I knew was coming. So for me, I was like, I'm happy for these kids. Pat Mahomes, Ezekiel Elliott, when he got his $90 million contract, I'm like, my biggest contract, it's still a lot of money. I'm not complaining here. I'm just sticking facts. I have a 5-year, $25 million contract back in 2001. $5 million signing bonus. And then every year, basically, I got to earn my other $5 million in the 5 years to get my $25 million. But
Yeah.
of course, and you got to remember, and I remind people all the time, it's this thing called Uncle Sam. It's called taxes.
Right?
So I'm getting half. So you see that 25 million on Sports Center, on NFL Network. No. Radio station. No. You see that 25. That 25 million is actually whatever that is in half. So what's
12 and a half?
12 and a half after taxes.
Right.
So Pat Mahomes, it's 500 million, but let's just take that. Hey, just give me half. That's what Uncle Sam's saying. So he got 250 million. Just a reminder for people. It's sickening just to say it. Like, ugh.
I can barely fathom 250 sometimes, let alone million. But it's funny you bring that up because Strick talked about the same thing on the block.
Yeah.
Right? About how the NBA's salary cap has like doubled in the last 10 years, where good for these guys, but that money's coming from somewhere. It's not coming from nowhere. So that's where it's good that I think there are the local deals to promote your product, what you do, your team, whatever it is. Yep. But the explosion comes from pooling everything together. That's where the big money comes from.
Exactly. You have, like in the NBA years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when we had Michael Jordan come into the NBA, that was a shot in the arm for the NBA because then from not only Nike, we saw the story. If you didn't see the movie that came out, Air, but if you lived it like myself, I already knew that story. So it gave life to the NBA because it was struggling at that time. Now you have this phenomenal athlete coming in. Now ticket sales are up across the board because why? That player, that team is going to play in every stadium around the NBA. So people are going to, if you're a Bullets fan at that time, if you are a Clippers fan at that time, you are a Lakers fan, you're going to go see Michael Jordan play, even though he's not on the team you're rooting for. So same with Pat Mahomes and same with these esports kids, the ones that are the prominent players. Fans going to want to come to see the best players on the Overwatch team, on the Call of Duty team, play. And then that pool of money, like you mentioned, it gets to get divvied up. And then where a franchise is not just keeping themselves up by their bootstraps, basically. And they shouldn't be doing that and being a professional organization for a pro league.
Right. So that's another, I think, difference between esports and traditional sports. Obviously, esports has in-person events, right? And they're huge. Plenty of people come. They're selling out football stadiums and all sorts of arenas and that sort of thing. But also, so much of it is done via the internet, via stream. And that's why those numbers you mentioned with the concurrent viewers and then the average viewers per stream is so big. Where is more of the money in esports? Is it in the daily streams or is it in these big events that you have every quarter, every year, something like that?
I say just from experience, I'm going to go off the in-person events a little bit. And then there's a little bit percentage off the stream, Twitch, YouTube. And now there's a new platform called Kick. And I'm not sure Kick and all the other, I don't know if Overwatch League teams have a Kick account yet. Because I know the revenue share is a little bit better than Twitch and probably similar to YouTube. So that's where you go. That's why Overwatch League did the YouTube exclusive deal in 2020 during COVID and that year. So that's the next question is where they make revenue. I mean, it also says in an article where it talked about their retail sales on their apparel. They have really cool logos, really cool team names. So that whole regional, along with, logos, because we know NBA, NFL, that Green Bay Packer G, everybody knows what that is. And where it can't be copied. If you do, you're in trouble. People in Green Bay is going to call you up. So having something like that is, it's everywhere and their fans want to wear it and want to support it. That's another part of the pie where if they master this thing and it's not recreating the wheel, they could just look at what traditional sports is doing and then take that and use it. But they got to be willing and open enough. When I say they, it's the people that run the Overwatch League, the people that run Activision Blizzard, Microsoft now, those folks, EA Sports, those folks, 2K Sports, that are open to say, hey, let's do this because we want to keep this ball rolling and we're going to make more money than what we were probably going to make by ourselves. We could triple that, double that. And then now we have an ecosystem that's going to support from kids on from the adolescent age all the way to pro level. And then now these events like E3, DreamHack, PAX, it's going to be even better because now we can send a pro player from the Overwatch team to in that local city if they're in Boston or if they're in Houston to go sign autographs or whatever, and they bring more fans to that event. So it's like a trade-off. You do this, and this will happen. This is a cause and effect. So hopefully they see that. Reading in here, the deadline, they have a vote on it coming on at the end of the season. End of the season is September 28th through October 1st. That is the final weekend for the Overwatch League for this year. So hopefully next year will be a year for 2024. So that they got, I think, till the end of the season to make that final vote of exactly if they're going to have the Overwatch 2 League come back in 2024. I obviously, me being who I am, being a coach, being a gamer, passionate, yes, I want it back. Hope they make that vote and figure out the formula to make this work and where you basically stop the bleeding, everywhere for all the teams involved and for the league itself involved.
Absolutely. Let's take our final break. Come back with one more segment of the Ahman Green Show next.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 25th are $2 off a pound of Denver steaks. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Ahman Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher, a professional realty group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
The sweet relief of air conditioning after a hot day in the summer sun. For only $2.88 a day, LES helps power life's special moments and your comfort. Learn more at les.com/value.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, back up. Closing up the last, 7 minutes to go. And to the chat real quick, Clone Trooper, one of my players there is right. You know, while the league may be ending, we don't know, but potentially. It doesn't mean the pro scene will be over, as he says. Same with Call of Duty League. They hope long-term would be a third-party org running it, open league instead of franchising. So open league is what has been the path to pro part of it, but they obviously have the capacity to run it just like it, the pro side of it as the path to pro league. So that'll be something to keep your eyes out for if you're a fan or a gamer. You play Call of Duty, you play Overwatch 2, and you play any game for that matter, because even like Super Smash Brothers went through this a year ago with Pando, and that was an organizer who had run professional Smash Brother tournaments and had a little discourse with Nintendo, and Nintendo wanted to do their own thing, and so they cut ties. And so that dropped out a whole professional scene, but there were still Smash Brothers players out there wanting to compete, and they did, there were tournaments still out there for them to compete in and stuff like that. So, even though you cut off a head, another one grows. That is the moniker here. Hopefully keep that going. But for the esports teams, man, we're about a month away. School starts August 21st, and so before that date, I'll be back in town, and then I'll start talking to the players. Z, the president, about tryouts for all these teams. I know I've been in conversations we're still recruiting players. We have a few players that we're talking to. She just forwarded me some information on a Smash player. And then Christian, who helps out with our Valorant team. We're talking back and forth about a recruit that plays Valorant and just watching film on him to see if he's that guy. Or that type of player. We got to break down the film with him, and he's going to do a live sit down with that player and watch some film and give me some tips on stuff I can squeak out a good player when I'm watching a Valorant game.
Okay, so you're watching film. Do you watch, if he's on a team right now, do you watch that as game film, and do you watch public matches as practice film? Is that kind of the analog, or what are you looking for in film?
I'm looking for a full game. Match, practice or scrim, and then I'm looking for their game mechanics. I'm listening for their audio, how they're talking to their teammates, how they're talking to their teammates in terms of giving them information if they just got shot, and giving the layout of the land. Hey, I'm one shot on the left side of the map, or watching their knowledge of the game. knowing their map, seeing their map awareness, knowing when to rotate. Valorant is a real tactical game. So you got to know certain moments you got to rotate back to one point to another to cover your teammate, to make sure your teammate has somebody in the area to either plant the bomb or get the shot off, because a headshot and a perfect headshot is what you want in Valorant. And that's what the pros do. And that's what college teams that are very good do. And so you're looking for all those little tidbit things for a player at the high school level, obviously at the college level, to be that player. And that's one reason why the club team has done tryouts. And that's the part I like, is I wish tryouts were earlier, because then I could have them, use the players, have the players that I'm recruiting to be in them. So they're a little later towards school starting, which is okay. We can still work out, finding out a roster for all the teams that we'll be competing in the fall, which is Valorant, Overwatch 2, Rocket League, League of Legends, Call of Duty. And then we have our Apex Legends and Rainbow Six and other games that the club team does play. And I say also, I'm excited just for another school. Now I'll be starting my full school year here on campus here in the fall, which would be fun because football starts in the fall along with all the other sports. And I'm a coach now. So I say one thing I'm excited about is, I draw on a blank, the volleyball coach name.
Oh, John Cook.
John Cook, he invited me to his to volleyball game. So I'm like,
yo,
I'm like, I got you, coach. I said, I'm there. I can't wait. So I get to see football and volleyball, and now I get to watch in the stand. I'd be like, man, because I've always talked to my friends here in Wisconsin. Like, look, we play some good volleyball in Nebraska. Oh yeah, so now I get to see it firsthand in a long time. I haven't seen it since I was on campus back in the late 90s, mid 90s. So I'm excited to see the ladies
so
spike
now
that ball around.
Oh, for sure. Since you have John Cook's ear, it was just announced today they're getting $5 million in NIL. So see if you can ask him for a little bit of that to be moved to the esports coffers.
Exactly. Well, we got to win games. I know that that's one reason how they got that.
Startup money, right? Startup money.
That's some startup money. Exactly. We need that. We got some good teams. We got a good Call of Duty team, League of Legends, Valorant, Overwatch 2, Rocket League teams. We got Smash players that'll beat you up in the game. Please, we need it. We need the finances because we have equipment that's just waiting at a dock right now, and we waiting for that money to come through. So anybody listening to this show, pass the word, relay the message to any potential sponsors. My number, you can find me on here. You can call a station on the number. We'll get you information, my information. And like Coach Trooper said, we're winning the Natty this year, the national title for Call of Duty. Yes, we are. So good show today, man. Austin went fast. Went super fast. God, we're gonna have to get 2 hours in by the end of this year.
Sometime. Again, you're the busy one. So if your schedule allows, I'm here.
Yeah, it will. I say after we get settled in Houston and I'm back to Lincoln, it'll be good to go.
And you're in Indy this week. You're a week from today.
Yep, I will be in Indy. I just got to figure out if I'm flying from Green Bay or Houston. That's what I got. I got to fix that with Rebecca. I got to pay my ticket there.
There you go. DP has shirts for you. So I'll make sure he brings them for you. So we'll get you squared away. AG, appreciate it as always. Look forward to hearing from you from Indy.
All right. See you then, Austin.
That's Ahman Green. I'm Austin Norman. That'll do it for the Ahman Green Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We've got the Junior Achievement Hour coming up next. Harrison Arns will take you through it with a couple of Junior Achievement volunteers. For AG, I'm Austin. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Working at Continental isn't a job, it's a career.